Now, what's the whole concept behind the 4-valve per cylinder head design that Toyota uses on all of their engines? It's simple. We want to flow more air in and exhaust out of the engine as possible to give us more power and better efficiency. It's all about maximizing airflow. And the only way that you can maximize airflow in and out of the cylinder is to have these openings, the space that the air flows in and out of, to be larger. But we have limited space. You know, the head's only so big around. And that's what we're using our paper cup for. We've got a limited amount of space here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this change to indicate the valves, the size of the valves, the size of the openings, if you will. You know, take a look at Hemi or at Chevrolet. What they do is they use 2 valves per cylinder, and they use as large a valve as possible to fit into the space that they have. Again, to create as big an opening as we possibly can. And if you just put these 2 quarters down here to simulate 2 valves, you'll see that we still have a lot of head space there where air can't flow through. The air is only going to flow through where we have the change. So that's a 2-valve design. Ford, quite a few years ago now, back in '95, went to a 3-valve design. Now, they did that for the main reason of flowing more air, just like we're talking about. But one thing they didn't want to do is they did not want to go to 2 camshafts to save money. So they stuck with their single overhead cam design, but they still wanted to flow more air. And what they did was they replaced the intake valve, the big intake valve, for 2 smaller intake valves. And if you'll notice, we're covering a little more of our cup down here. They actually improved flow by about 30% to do this. But to save money, they stuck with a single overhead cam design. If you look at Toyota's system, Toyota not only has 4 valves per cylinder, Toyotas have 2 independent separate camshafts. And what Toyota does is replace both the intake and the exhaust valves with 2 smaller valves each. And you'll notice that now we cover a big percentage of the bottom of the cup. We have the largest amount of space to flow air possible here. The other issue, as I mentioned, that with Toyota, we're using dual overhead camshafts, which allow us to independently control the opening of the intake and the exhaust valve, getting us even more efficiency.